Upside Down by Alexander Kushner. So this is also a poem which is based on humor, right? And throughout this poem, we see this main character called Upside Down. And what sort of a man is he? Now, when we see the word upside down, we understand no, something is wrong there. And he has got a very correct name also, because very suitable name also, because his actions are also upside down. Once there lived an upside down, sort of a narrative that we see here, who was the talk of the town. Everyone was talking about him. And for an example, if you ask him to turn right, what does he do? Turn to the left, out of spite, just for fun. Like if he went sailing in a boat, he can never understand why he seemed to be afloat. He can't understand why the boat is floating on water. And what had happened to the land? He can't understand where the land has gone when he's in the middle of the river. He read the letters also backside 4, right? So what happened? And wrote the letters also in the wrong way. So if Tony is written, how does he read it? Other way around, not. So he said, dunderhead, such a fool. All his life, he was very afraid to cross a bridge. Rather, he would walk in the water unless the water is deep. So water is deep, then there is a problem again. Or the embankment was too steep. If the embankment kind of edge of the river, if it is too steep, there was a problem again. He went to a restaurant one day. When he went there, what does he ask? What do you want? I would like a pair of socks with clocks on them and in a box. He asked the wrong question from the wrong person in the wrong place. The circus came to town one day. Of course, he went without delay. And everyone said Upside Down was funnier than the circus clown. So, for an example, we think that clowns and the circuses are the best and the funniest things. But Upside Down is the funniest of all because of his foolish behavior. Just yesterday, the postman brought a letter, and then he's thinking, should I read it? Shall I read it? Perhaps I should read it. Perhaps I will read. Perhaps I can't read. But if we get a letter, what would you do normally? You want to read and see it, right? He just looks at it. I did this way, I did that way, and then put it in his hat. That is why his aunt has written this message to him. Dear boy, what do you always do? Just annoy, make people angry. For an example, you wear flannel or like suitable clothes for cold time. When it is hot, you do that. You go naked when it is not suitable for you. You must behave as others do if they are to respect for you. But when we are living in a society, we have to conform to the, or rather adopt to the lifestyle in that society, to the tradition and customs in that society. We can't just behave as we want, right? So here, the main sense of the poem is humor. The writer talks about a person who has, misunderstood everything in life. Everything is not properly understood by him. He behaves in a silly way and everyone laughs at him. There is no respect given to him. Everyone is amused by looking at him. So, if in any case an individual performs a shameful and a wrong act in public, he would attempt to avoid any repetitions of that task. However, this upside down repeats his foolish and nonsense behavior while not attempting at all to rectify or correct his own actions. While this brings us to the focal information or main information that he enjoyed being the cynosure or the main focus and never took anything seriously. Nevertheless, one's dignity and self-respect matter a lot in a civilized human society. So what's the meaning of this main idea? Now, if a person does something wrong or a shameful thing happens, what do? We learn a lesson. Next time we try to avoid that and behave in a proper way. But upside down just continues doing his foolish work. He never rectifies or corrects his work. And when everyone looks at him, when he is the focus, when he is a cynosure, he doesn't mind. He lets people laugh at him. But in society, we have to make sure that we keep our respect, we have dignity, and we actually go ahead and behave according to the rules, according to the customs and traditions of a society. Otherwise, people laugh, saying that we are mad, we are behaving in a wrong way. So basically, we find humor, but with that humor, we have this theme as well as a message. Conform, right, to or adopt yourself to the rules, traditions, and customs in your society. Behave properly. As techniques, we see rhyming scheme use, light rhythm, sarcasm, laughing at the mistakes of this man, repetition, and visual imagery. And as a model question, you can discuss this one and answer. When an individual lives in a society, he has to attune to the social customs. Otherwise, he will be cornered and laughed. But he's attuned to, he has to adopt, behave in that way. So think about the keywords here. Individual, less, attuned to, social customs, cornered, laughed. So throughout the poem, we see that upside down does not attune to the social custom. He asks unnecessary questions. He asks wrong questions in the wrong place. He does not have a sense of anything. He does not have common sense, general knowledge. For an example, he doesn't understand how a boat goes and how the land is passed. So what happens? He is not suitable. He has not learned the social customs. He has not learned the social living. Because of that, people laugh at him. He is just put to a side. He is not given any status, right? So his auntie or his family members would try hard to tell him, learn, be like this. But if that is not learned, every day he'll be laughed by others. So that is the main idea which you can bring out for this answer.